Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely stream deck. For more information about the stream deck, the link is in the description below.
Hello everyone and welcome to another season of Apex Online Racing, Assetto Corsa Competizione, Tier 2. This season it's going to be some jam-packed, action-filled racing, and I am here today. My name is Fizzymon. This is going to be my first time ever commentating over an ACC race, so please bear with me, and hopefully I can bring some very good action right now. And it appears I have muted my game volume already, so we are off to a fantastic race start already. I'll turn it back on. So, we're on track now. The drivers are just starting. Everyone on track right now, led by this man here, Tom Raider. So we have my... Okay, excuse my language there. Alright, we're gonna... So apparently, ACC likes to jam the volume, but F1 does not. Yeah, is that better? The game sounds way too loud, yeah. I turned it down. It should be a lot better, but I'm going to turn it down even more. Thank you for pointing that out, because I happen to miss that. So, yeah. Sorry, guys. Let's turn it down even more down there. Yes, that should be a lot better. Yeah. So, I do apologize for that. Hopefully you guys can hear me a lot better now, and hopefully I'm not that loud at all, or as loud anymore. Hold on. All right. Yeah. Sorry about your ears, guys. I do apologize on that. Like I was saying that you probably didn't hear is that this is my first time commentating ACC, and apparently already the audio mixer is a little different than the other game F1 that I commentated as well. But either way, let's pay attention to the guys on track right now. We got the Ferrari, the number 2 Ferrari, Tom right here at the front right now. He is one of 11 Ferrari Evo drivers that we have today. One of 12 total Ferrari drivers. We have one guy who is in a regular old Ferrari 488 GT3. That would be Alan Rake from Algeria. But before we go ahead and look at that, we'll just keep an eye, see how the times come in now, as Tom is going to cross the line and set our first lap of the day with a 147.2. Not a bad start. I saw him go a lot faster in practice, so we'll have to see how the times go on the board, as D. Latz, who is, I believe that is Dennis Latz. Yes, he files in second place in the Ferrari Evo as well. We're going to do return to the garage since I do not have the broadcasting stuff set up, so I do apologize for the shoddy display. And hopefully it won't be keeping up with the apologies at the moment. We'll go through the grid a little bit. Let's see, we got Nico Uhl is currently the second fastest on track right now. Where's the Detox, the Scottish Destroyer? I'm not sure who 100% that is. I believe that is... Oh, man. I've got a huge list of names. I mean, I'm having trouble with all these nationalities that are here today. Because, like I said, there's 22 today. So I'm going to do my best when I can. But, yeah. We'll keep going with it. But, yeah. Uhl is currently in P3 with Florian Bauer, currently stealing our provisional pole position on his first lap in the Mercedes. So that is kind of expected. But it's nice to see the Ferraris challenging him up towards the front, and we'll have to see if that holds true as qualifying goes on. However, something to note, we only have 4 Mercedes drivers here today, so it's not as many Mercedes around track as there have been in previous seasons from what I've seen. So yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye on them. Speaking of keep an eye, let's see if Tom right here is going to improve on his lap from what he did last time. He's going to come across the line and at a 146.9. That is good enough once again for provisional pole. So drivers getting their tires in working conditions now, and it is looking very good so far. But let's keep an eye on Bauer, who's currently going through a Scari right now. Yes, he's going through a Scari right now, and he will be on to the back straight before Parabolica. So as long as he doesn't invalidate, he may look to steal pole once again. Yes, you guys are mentioning the Honda. There is one Honda, and that is, let me once again connect the dots, that is Stuart McLeod. Is that your Scottish Destroyer? If that name sticks, maybe I'll have to use it. We'll have to see, but currently he is down in 38th, and he has not set a valid lap time at the moment. Speaking of setting a valid lap time, Bauer, I believe, slightly improved on his time, but did not improve enough to try to steal pole. So yeah, we also have 17 rookies as well. So going through the list right now, we've got the highest ranked rookie at the moment. Let's see. Is... Well, Hardenberg came out of nowhere. He's the highest ranked rookie in second place, back in the very quickly and early on in the session with 8 minutes left. So I guess he's had enough of those tires. But yeah. So that is Gillian Hardenberg, currently up in P2 in the Ferrari, number 13 Ferrari. The Dutch driver is already having a great showing so far in qualifying, but we still got 7 minutes, 50 seconds left. So yeah, we'll see what he can do back on track. We're going to scroll down the order and find the Scottish destroyer, Stuart McLeod, sorry. He's currently going into turns 1 and 2 now. I believe this will be his first valid lap attempt of the session, so we'll have to see if he can go on and improve on that. Also, please let me know if there's any kind of stuttering with the stream. I do have some issues with upload speed with other games every once in a while, but usually I find ways to optimize it, so if that is the case, please do not hesitate like you guys did with the audio. So, anyways, back through the grid right now. D-Lats, that's Dennis Latz, is back up into second place with what I believe is a 146.95, but still, right here is up front in... Oh no, Simpson just took the pole by 15 thousandths of a second, and he's pulled off to the side back into the pits. Do we have any Latvians? Asked in the chat. No, I do not believe we have any Latvians today, unless I messed up a flag. We have one Austrian, Samir Fock, I believe he is, or Foch. I'm not sure the pronunciation of that. Voice videos, okay, all right, that's what I want to hear. Thank you. Yes, so we have one Austrian. The most represented nationality, I believe, would be Britain today. But yeah, so we got 22. We only have 38 of the 43 drivers signed up for the split. I guess a couple drivers couldn't make it, and we also have 2 designated reserves that I know of, and I don't believe either reserve is driving right now. So yeah, Simpson, that is where is he at? Jack Simpson, that's right, one of the British drivers, like I was talking about, in the number 29 Lamborghini, currently at the pace setter with a 146.7, but I do expect times to keep dropping as the tire continues to get rubber down, as it is optimum now, and more rubber is on the track. Also up into P4 is the number 555 Mercedes in Julie Sorp, or July Sorp. Not sure if that is their full name, and that is a he or she, but it doesn't matter because they are up into P5, and they are a rookie as well. Also up the timing board is Dennis Latz, once again back up in pole position. What's that name? Which name? You have to be a little more specific on which one. Marlon Andrade, yes, he is down in P8 right now in the McLaren, number 12 McLaren, which I mentioned how there are a total of 12 Ferraris. There are also a total of 11 McLarens, with one of the McLaren drivers driving a 650S. Not sure why, but hey, by all means, go ahead and race that. The 650 is driven by, where is it? Marlon, how about that? So he's faster than all the 720 McLaren. So I take my comment back. Marlon is currently out on track, looking mighty fast in the older model McLaren. So yeah, he is definitely putting down some very strong times. And I've seen him race before, and he is mighty quick. So I do expect to see him fighting towards the front as long as his car allows him to do so. Right in front of him, we have Adam Dubiel. He is a Polish Ferrari driver. He is a rookie as well in the Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo. And he is currently 2/10 off of pole. So a lot of rookies towards the front. Shooter is just Shooter. He is the only guy who did not provide a full name. So he is down currently in P26. He is our only BMW driver, as he always likes to drive those BMWs, and he is down the order in 26. So yeah, Shooter's down there. Back up towards the front, D'Cusa, who is the other coordinator in the Bentley, is currently in P14, a half a second off pole right now. Is he in one of the teams? He is in one of 2 teams that I have so far signed up. He is in Ninja Sheep Racing with his teammate Nico Uhl, who was up towards the front of the timing boards before, but is currently down in P13 as those Bentleys are struggling to improve on their times. The other team, is made up of Gillian Hardenberg, who is currently up in P6 right now and right by D'Cusa on track by the looks of it. Yes, right behind D'Cusa on track at the moment, with his teammate being Jean Sebastian I'm just gonna Casangiano. It's a French name. I do not want to slaughter it because I know my last name is bad enough to pronounce as is. So I'll just stick with Jean Sebastian and have him help out later on for my pronunciation. But yeah, the split is looking pretty competitive. I mean, the 1 second gap all the way down to P29 is not too shabby, but I do expect to see times continually drop. However, Dennis Latz has not improved on his time, as he is the current pace setter on track right now, and yet he is still stuck up there. So we actually are jumping over to these names. Tom Rayer, who is currently in P3, and top 3 separated by only 48 thousandths of a second. So we got battles all over the track right now where one mistake could cost the driver upmost of 5-10 positions. I mean, we got a relatively big cluster from first. It's 2 tenths separate 1st through 7th, but that's another 2 tenths all the way back to 12th. So yeah, it's the drivers kind of looking a little evenly separated with close gaps at the front and towards the middle of the pack right now. But with 2 minutes left, sorry, in the session, I'm not used to seeing a overall time on the game. 2 minutes left in the session now. Rayer goes and takes pole position by 15 thousandths of a second. He is currently sitting P1, so it's a 1-2 for the Ferrari drivers in Rayer and Latz. Will Latz have anything to say? I'm just gonna have to keep it on this screen, sadly. I will probably remove the chat bar as well, but will Latz have anything to say as he comes through Parabolica now? He's not exactly taking the tightest line through it, but he's got the power down early. He's using all of the track possible. Will he improve on his time and steal back pole position? Comes across the line, and he does not improve on his time for now. Where is Jack Simpson? Jack Simpson is currently rounding through Parabolica. He is one of many drivers who are about to start their last flying lap now, as he comes across the line, and it is going to be no improvement for him either. So with 53 seconds left, he's only got one more shot at improving on his time. Next up would be Bauer. Bauer currently coming up to the line. Looks like he's not trying to improve on his lap at this one, but he might try to improve on his next lap with that wide line, getting as much speed as possible. July Sorp coming into Parabolica now. Will they improve on their time going through Parabolica, taking a much tighter line than what we saw before? Will they be able to come across the line and improve on their time? The rookie driver looking pretty strong up in 5th position, crosses the line. No improvement at all. Behind them, Gillian Hardenberg is in the pits and done for the session. And so is Pasquale De Lucia, the Irish driver, down in 9th. So Tom Rayer is going to come across the line first. I don't know if he has enough time for one more lap. Will he improve on his time? Yes, he does, by 2 tenths of a second. What a fantastic lap for Rayer. Will Latz, who is currently sitting in P2, have an answer to his Ferrari compatriot? Coming down along the back straight now. Will he be able to get a good line through Parabolica and improve on his lap? We'll have to wait and see. Improvements down the order as well. The number 10 car coming across the line now. Will Miletic come across the line and improves? Yes, all the way up to P8, but back to Dennis Latz. He's going to come across the line, and he will not improve. Jack Simpson is arguably the next driver who has a chance to topple the Ferrari 1-2. Will he be able to improve, if ever so slightly? Coming out of Parabolica and up to the line, he's back into the pits, and that is his session over. Does Sorp have an answer? Down in 5th place right now, but there's the 840 cars coming across the line, but no, going into the pits. Not sure if anyone else has got a lap still on that they're currently in. Look at the 11 car of Marin. Marin comes out of the final corner and up the line, trying to improve on that P34 position. It will not be an improvement. What about the 80 car of D'Acusa? D'Acusa's into the pits. The 329 car of Climbs coming up to the line in the Porsche, the only Porsche driver in the field. Will they improve? Yes, up to 31st. Will the 64 car of Jones improve from 33? No. And last across the line is the 314 car of Stancris across the line, and it is P36. So we're gonna have to see if we can look up the order. Tom Rayer is on pole with over 2 tenths of a second clear over his teammate Dennis Latz. That is a fantastic lap for the Ferrari driver. I know I certainly can never do that. Excuse the language in chat. We're gonna have to turn off that real fast. I gotta forget where that is. If I cannot find it, oh well, that would really suck. There we go. Disabled. It should be good. Fingers crossed. Yes, fingers crossed. So yeah, I'm not sure how that compares to Split yesterday and that some of you raced in, but I think those were pretty fast times that what we saw today. And speaking of Split 1, this is just a reminder that if you guys watching today and did not race yesterday, please note that on Mondays at this same time, the top split in Apex Online Racing, ACC, races on Mondays with live stewarding. So they are all the way up by themselves on their own special day because those drivers clearly have special pace. So that's not to say that these guys do not have special pace, but definitely tune in on Monday starting at 7:30 p.m. UK for some even more Apex Online racing. So yeah, Tier 2 is the new Tier 1. Tier 1 is the new Amir Hosseini. I guess that's one way to put it. I didn't get to watch the whole race, but it looked entertaining from what I was able to saw. But anyways, we're going to go up the order right now. No, we do not want that. Let's go. I can't return to garage for some reason. So we're just going to go and give everyone a little introduction the best I can. Yes, there we go. So we got Tom right here. He's up front right now. He is a returning driver in the Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo. Second place, Dennis Latz, also in the Ferrari as well. He is a returning driver as well. Jack Simpson in third he is a British driver driving the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo. And fourth place, Florian Bauer in the Mercedes GT3. Fifth place, July Sorp in the 555 Mercedes, our highest ranked rookie this season from Moldova. So very nice to see that country represented. I've never done any research about Moldova, but it's pretty cool to see more diversity. In sixth place, not sure why there's a dead space on the grid. That is a little weird. We have Adam Dubiel. He is another rookie in the Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo. So, in seventh, we have Alexander Irish, the German driver in the McLaren 720S, another rookie. Eighth place, we have Dejan Miletić, a German driver, currently also in the McLaren 720S GT3. Marlon Andrade, P9, in the McLaren 650S, the only one of them in the field, with a very respectable P9. The Brazilian's looking to have a very strong performance today. And he is also notorious in seasons past, as he has been a Split 1 driver in the past. P10 is currently, let's see, Pasquale De Lucia from Ireland in the Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo. P11, we have John Sebastian. I'm not going to pronounce that last name until I get a proper pronunciation, but the French driver is a rookie and is in one of our two teams. In 12th place, we have Simon Ramsayer, the Irish driver who is returning in a Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo. 13th, we have Alex Torregrossa, who is currently in the Mercedes number 7 car. P14, we have we have the Polish driver Mateusz. I can't pronounce that last name. Kazieszek. Do apologize now. Again, I'm going to have to work on pronunciations. He's currently in 14th, and he's a rookie driver as well. P15, we have Sir Williams, the rookie American on the grid, so my fellow countryman, currently down in P15. P16, we have Nico Ull, the German driver, who was at one point in the session up towards the front, but then the Bentleys decided that they weren't going to work as well for him, sadly. Takuza, his teammate, in P17. Everyone knows Takuza because he's one of the coordinators who's been around forever. P18, Jay Feng, the Chinese driver, the rookie, who's driving a McLaren 720S. And P19, we have Alan Rake, in the Ferrari. He is an Algerian driver, the Algerian driver that we have on the grid. In 20th, it skipped over. Oh, that's weird. It keeps skipping over Stuart McLeod, who's currently in P20 in the Honda, the only Honda on the grid. P21, we have Andy Vandervelde, the British driver, in the McLaren. P22, oh, there's Scott. There he is. Well, it's going to give us P22. It's a little weird order. P22 is not showing up, but P22 is Paweł Jarzembowski in the Ferrari, the Polish driver. P23, we have Ben Blakemore. P24, Samir Fudge. P25, we have James Cowley, the British driver. P26, it's got to be Connor Wright. P27, Shooter 80, the other coordinator. P28, we have Paulo Lima. 29th, we have another Chinese driver of Chen, another rookie on the grid. P30, we have who is that? Do I not have the right? John Klimes, the Czech driver, who's on the grid today. P31 comes out to be Henry Vertinen. P32, Chris Jones from Wales. P33, we've got Mario Marin from Spain. P34, we have Ole Pitschik from Sweden. P35, we've got Grigo Stangrit from Russia. P26, we have Tobias Gerhardt from Germany. P37 is going to be Nuri Khalid on Kuloglu. That one another name I will need a correct pronunciation for. They're from Turkey. P38, we will have Urho Calleja from Spain, and rounding out our grid today in P39 is Gillian Hardenberg. Not sure why he got dropped all the way towards the grid when he was towards the front, but either way, the rookie driver from the Netherlands has a lot of work to do today. So we're going to go back up. Oh, nope, don't want to go into the replay mode. Will not let me return to garage. But we're going to go up towards the front of the grid now and watch Tom Ray here lead the field as they are currently on the formation lap, and they will form up on the grid and hopefully give us some fantastic racing today, as I do believe we do have the manual in-game start. So turn one should be pretty crazy. Hopefully not too crazy. Hopefully everyone makes it through cleanly for every driver's sake and for all of our viewers' sake. So thank you again for watching today, and get ready because Apex Online Racing ACC action Tier 2 is about to be underway as the drivers come out of Parabolica now. The two Ferraris will lead the way as they come up to the starting line and begin our fantastic race today. Might as well take a sip of my coffee now because I'm sure we're going to get plenty of action going forward as the drivers come up towards the line now. Will they be hitting full throttle? Not yet. Waiting. Wait for the lights to go on as they come to the line. And it is green. Go, go, go. The drivers are underway. It's a great start from Bauer. Currently, you can see him in the background now. He's going to try to make it 3 wide going to turn 1. He's all up behind right here. Is he going to try to make the move on the inside? He goes into the middle. He gets in front of Dennis Latz and into turn 1. He has taken P2. But right here stays up towards the front. Simpson's up to P3. Latz is down to P4. We got a McLaren, a Mercedes off the track, and oh, round goes Adam Dubiel in the background. That is never what you want to see at the start of the race. But up towards the front, Bauer all over the back of Tom Raher right now. It's a battle for first position. Florian Bauer, will he make a move up on the inside? De La Rogia, no. He's going to sit behind him for now. But the Mercedes is looking like he's got mighty pace at the start of the grid. Not sure why the order is being all whack right now, but let's just ignore that aside because right now Bauer all over the back of our pulsator Tom Raher with Jack Simpson in 3rd place and Dennis Latz up to 4th. There's 2 McLarens in the background in 5th and 6th. They are on the move as well, but we got a 4-way battle for the lead as they're all separated by just over a second. But down farther in the grid, we're going to turn to garage now so we can quickly go through the grid. 2 McLarens of Alexander Irish and Milicic. So there's a position change up towards the front now. Okay, so the game's going to continually do this all day, it seems. But looking through the grids now, Milicic is currently up into 5th position with Alexander Irish all on the rear end. The 2 McLarens on the move. Marlon Andrade down to July Sorp has dropped down to P7. July Sorp was who we saw go off track early on, and it looks like they've recovered and stayed in 7th, but part of it was at the expense of the McLaren of, I'm not sure who it was. It's one of the McLarens who's down the order right now. But right now, towards the front of the field, will Bauer make a move into turn 1. He's all over the rear end of that Ferrari. He's gaining, he's sticking it to the right-hand side of the track. No, he backs out at the last minute. There he goes. He is way too late on the brakes, and he is off the track right now. That is not where he wants to be, as he's currently going to have to rejoin, but be very carefully and yield the position. This is going to give up a position to Jack Simpson as well, as Bauer, who looked set to take the lead, is now in 3rd, as Simpson is gaining like crazy on Raher. Raher had great one-lap pace, but right now, so far, he doesn't seem to be able to pull away from the drivers behind him like he was in qualifying. Simpson eats a lot of that sausage curb on the entry of Della Rosia. Down the order more right now. Let's take a look at... It's hard to see it. There's no way to tell the delta right now on who's dropped what, but we'll go at Sir Williams, who looks like he's in a cluster. Yes, we've got a huge cluster in the middle of the field right now. Dacusa and Alex, what is that? Alex Torregrossa, Alex Torregrossa is currently on the back of Dacusa's teammate, Nico Ull, but now there's a huge gap. He was right on the back of him, but I guess the deltas have not updated. But back towards the front now, Simpson on the back of right here right now with Bauer in P3. Bauer really showing a lot of pace now. He's trying to get back into it. As we'll keep an eye on our front runners. Just down towards the field right now. We've got 4 people in the pits. Gillian Hardenberg, Climbs, Chen, and Cowley. 4 drivers all in the pits serving the mandatory pit stop. Not sure if any of them had damage. I didn't see any of them spin. We saw the McLaren spin, so not sure what happened down the order. But let's focus on the front right now. Bauer, that Mercedes, excuse me, is flying. And if he can not lock up into turn 1, he might have a shot at taking 2nd place. He's going to go to the right-hand side of the track. Will he be later on the brakes? Yes, he is. He's up the inside, and he makes it stick. That is 2nd place for Bauer. Bauer up in the 2nd, but does Simpson have anything to say about it? He's literally on the gearbox of the Mercedes now. He's on the rear end. He's going to the left. The Mercedes drifts out to the left as well. They're going to go side by side into Della Rosia. No, they're not, because Bauer is making that Mercedes 3 car widths wide, and they're going to go into the braking zone where the Mercedes just has a lot more downforce and can brake that much later. Bauer up to P2 as we got a car off the track in the background. Not sure that is Marlon Andrade, who's going to drop down the order a little bit, as that McLaren 650 is not working for him, because now they're side by side with July Sorb going through Lesmos 1, but Andrade will hold on to the position for now after that horrible Della Rosia. But yes, he is up to 7th now, but he might drop down a little farther once the deltas update. But back up towards the front right now, Bauer has gave himself room to Simpson, but Tom Raher has got a 2nd on the field. So it's going to be hard for him to catch up with the slipstream, like a little out of touch. But one thing you got to note right now is a 329 car of Climbs. Only a few seconds up the road, the Porsche, who already pitted. But looks like it didn't serve. It looks like it was more of a drive-through, considering they still have one more mandatory pit stop to go. So maybe they had a tow. They are going to currently hold up the field once Raher catches up to him. But yes, Bauer is on fire right now, and Bauer is on the charge. It was a 1-second gap when they were at the end of Sector 2. It is only 9/10 now. The Mercedes number 22 car is flying. Florian Bauer from Germany doing an absolutely stellar job right now to run down Tom Raher, our pole sitter. In 3rd place is Jack Simpson. 4th is Dennis Latz. 5th, we have Dejan Militic from Germany. A lot of Germans up towards the front of the field right now, so hats off to them. But there's a huge cluster down the order right now by our 69 Honda, who are watching a Ferrari go off the track. The 116 Ferrari is off the track in the background. Not sure where they were at the end of the 1st sector. That is Castaneda, but he is all the way down the order, all the way at the back of the field. It looks like they just had a horrible run into turn 1 and then just spun around right now. So I was going to go into drive. Problem is I do not have an easier way of going from certain drivers without scrolling, because I do not have the broadcasting shortcut set up at the moment. It was having a little bit of issues, so I do apologize. That is exactly why we are in this camera mode right now, but I will have that fixed come next race. I promise you that. Hopefully I can bring a little more in, maybe with Streamlabs or some other stuff, but we'll keep that in our back pocket. So, but yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do a little better. It's down the order right now. Fang is currently up to 15th. The Chinese driver currently on the move. Jay Fang in the McLaren. Number 14 car trying to run down Sir Williams in front of him, and Dakuza. Him and Nico Uhl are currently on the move, with Uhl going side by side with DeLucia into Parabolica. They're going to go side by side. Is he going to make it stick around the outside? The Bentley showing a lot of pace right now for both drivers, but Dakuza is currently battling July Sorp, who's just dropping down the order. The rookie driver not able to hold on right now after a great qualifying session, but no matter, because Nico Uhl is side by side with DeLucia going into the braking zone. Who will brake later? There's a McLaren kind of sitting in the way as Uhl goes off the track. He's going sliding and spinning. He's going off the track. Hopefully he can save it. Yes, he can. Just barely. Wow, that was some Tokyo drift right now. He's going to have to yield position to the Ferrari, who kind of shut the door on him, but he's going to be right back there and followed right back in just where he was. So he got really lucky, but I'm sure he will not be happy with that. It's down the order. Dakuza is currently in 12th. The McLaren right now in the background is a lapped car who has already pitted. That is, I believe, Kalea in the 78. No, that's not Kalea. So there's a lap car sandwich right now. So that's Lima in the background with Kalea in front of him. So this battle going on right now has got lap cars in front and behind it. So even though these guys definitely have pace, they're going to have to be careful. They don't want to hold up the guys battling who are in front of the field. But yeah, the man did just want to drift. Oh, right now has got our provisional drifting championship currently sealed. Speaking of locked and sealed right now, Tom Rayer up towards the front, a 1.5 second gap. He is pulling away from the fast Florian Bauer, who started out very hot, but look in his Florian Bauer's rearview mirror. You got Jack Simpson currently itching up the field. Simpson, who is in the previous season of Split 2 in AOR, finished in 3rd place, and he had 1 win to his tally, so he had a great campaign last season. So we'll have to see what he can do this week, as he is currently sitting in 3rd right now. In the background, the 2 McLarens, I believe that's Alexander Irish and Milicic, currently close to each other into turn 1, but they will hold position now. There's a 3-way battle between the 3 McLarens, and Irish is going to get a great run out of turn 2. He's got the slipstream. He's right all over the back of Milicic. Will he try to swing around the outside? Going into Della Roche, he's going to swing to the left-hand side of the track. He's got a little bit more momentum. Will he try to brake later? No, he will decide to back off, but he's got to be very, very careful. He's got Marlon Andrade in the background in the 650S McLaren. So it looks like Milicic is holding him up, but Irish is going to swing to the right-hand side, going to Lesmos 1. Will he try to make the move up the inside? Milicic leaves him space, but Irish does not go for it. But Milicic goes way too wide on the exit of Lesmos 1, but again, Irish is just holding position, not trying to make a move, and this is releasing Dennis Latz, who is in front of them and currently in P4 in his Ferrari right now. So I'm going to keep an eye on this battle right now. A 3-way battle for 3rd. It's definitely very entertaining, as every corner it looks like Milicic is getting more and more pressure thrown on him. And while Irish is certainly looking to make a move, he's got Andrade flying in the background right now. So you got to be very careful with what he does. Andrade gaining on him as well. As there is a battle up towards the front. Is that Florian Bauer under threat from Simpson? No, that is a lapped Ferrari. I thought for a sec that Simpson made up the gap, but talking about making up the gap now, will Irish and Andrade get enough slipstream here down the front straight to make a move into turn 1? Let's keep an eye on it, because this is a battle for a lot of points right here. It's the battle for 5th position as they cross the lines. A 4/10 gap between Irish and Milicic, but only 2/10 between Andrade and Irish. Andrade is gaining a lot into the braking zone, just not close enough for now. So down the order. Nico, Irish goes off the track. He will have to yield a little bit of time, and as a result, Andrade will take the position. Irish, turns out it's going to be him who's going to succumb to the pressure of the drivers around him. So, did not expect to see that happen as he just kind of broke a little too late, and as a result, Andrade is up to 6th position. Great job by the Brazilian to react properly, leave, and take the position away. But up towards the front, right here, not sure if he's getting slowed up by lap cars, but Bauer is all over the back of right here now. And all of a sudden, the Ferrari driver, who had a 1.5 second gap just 2 laps ago, only has a 2-second gap because we got a yellow flag in Della Rogia. It is the number 78 car of Calais as he's going to tow back to the pits. I think that might be his day over, as it has just gone from bad to worse after having an early accident. But Bauer all over the rear end of Simpson now. Will he try to make the move stick? Let's go on board with Bauer now. Let's see what we can get. Yeah, we'll get the nice hood cam right now. Bauer all over the back of right here, going into Parabolica. Will he try to brake later? Now he's going to hold position. Looks like both the cars are sliding a little bit. Not really getting any understeer, while right here is getting a little bit. It drifts a little wide, but this Mercedes all over the rear end of the Ferrari. Will he swing to the left-hand side, or is what we saw before, the right-hand side of the track? Go for the move. He's gaining down the front straight. He's gaining some more. There's a little bit desync. The Mercedes pushes the Ferrari down the straight and decides to brake early. So check the pace. You are absolutely right. I should check the pace. Let me figure out real fast the way to check. So I'm going to go interval there, but that is not what we want. Camera controls. Not seeing the exact pace at the moment, but hey, let's keep an eye on what kind of laps they're doing. Let's return to garage and let's look at the timetables now. So up towards the front, we got Ray here. Right now, he's been struggling these last few laps. It is not giving me the race paces, so I do apologize. Again, a lot of these little issues I'm having left and right now, I will work to fix by next race. I'll be working with the commentators of Split 1 to optimize the streaming quality for you guys. So that way it's a little better, a little more enjoyable, and a lot smoother. But one thing, speaking of smoother, Andrade is already up to 5th position. That McLaren 650S is a lot faster than I thought it would be. I was originally thinking a little negatively towards the car, but he is up to 5th. And he's showing what you can do with that car. The question is, will he be able to run down the leaders in front of him? Because he's got a 4.5 second gap to close on Dennis Latz now. So we've got a lot of racing left. So Bauer, once again, on the rear of Tom Ray here. A little bit of a gap at the exit of Ascari was formed. But Bauer is currently needs to get a move on as we've got 45 minutes left. And it currently looks like his car is operating better than Ray here. So he's going to need to get around him, get the clean air, and hopefully get ahead by the time we have the pit stop window open. So down the front straight, what do we got across the line? We got a 4/10 gap. So Ray here starting to pull away once again. He must have just made a horrible mistake and had some tire issues one lap, because right now he's starting to pull away a little bit, but also at the same time, the Mercedes might not be good in dirty air. So we'll have to take a look and see what happened. I know I had broadcast up. I know how to do it. The problem is that when I get it, my issue is it's simple. I can't pick and choose a driver to scroll through. So I'll keep it like this for now. We'll keep an eye on the action towards the front, since Bauer and Ray here currently battling like crazy. But sadly, I'm not given a cursor to kind of select who I want to go to. That's one of the things I just want to fix going forward, so I can sit in the screen and then off screen select what driver I want, since there is an application that allows me to do that. So I'll keep it like this for now, and we'll keep it fine. So it's all good. I do appreciate it. So yeah. Anyways, back to the action now. Bauer still on the back of Ray here. Let's pop back on board with him now. See the nice vent on the front of the car. He seems like he's gaining a lot in the braking zones, but that Ferrari seems to just get a little bit better acceleration. And it's got a little bit better cornering, because the Mercedes is able to brake so late, even in the dirty air a little bit. But the Ferrari is just able to launch out of the corner just enough. Very impressive to see how the cars are operating right now. But take a look at the car behind Jack Simpson. Currently in P3, he's 1.2 seconds behind. He's slowly starting to close up in the Lamborghini, but he's got Dennis Latz in the rear view mirror as the lap car goes off the track. behind him as well. That is just not what you want to see. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Up towards the front, Florian Bauer is still really close to Ray here, but just not close enough to make the move into turn 1. He's trying to peek to the right-hand side of the track, but you can't seem to spook Ray here into going defensive into turn 1. Seems that Tom knows much better than to fall for those little tricks that we are seeing. In the background, we can see that July Sorp has pitted as well. So down the order right now, we'll scroll through them as Casanega is up to Casangiano. I'm gonna have to keep working on the names. He's currently in 31 right now, but July Sorp is in the background now in 31 as Casanega is up into 30 and is the leader of the cars that have pitted. So some early pit stops for the likes of July Sorp, who must not have liked the situation they're in. But if you know, Sorp lost almost a whole lap in the pits. I assume there was no damage or anything. So as a result, that is something some of these drivers do have to keep in mind as when they come to pit. So they're going to lose a lot of time, especially if they have damage, and they definitely do not want to come out and be the lapped traffic and hold up anyone's race. So back towards the front now. Or actually, we're looking at Marlon Andrade, so let's go back up towards the front. We got Jack Simpson, Florian Bauer, Tom Ray here. Currently our top 3 in the opposite order of what I just said, with Bauer pressuring Ray here like crazy these last few laps, but he's not been close enough with the drivers, as you saw in the bottom right-hand corner. They're doing about 148s around the track right now, so very quick laps around the track. Let's see if I can get... No, okay. So again, keep working on that stuff for now. Simpson's dropping off a little bit of Bauer, who is now 3/10 behind the Ferrari driver. So they get a nice little tow with that 148.2. So he's averaging about his best. These front two. Will Bauer, excuse me, try to send it up the inside of the Ferrari? No. He will think better of it and sit behind. But Simpson's 1.3 behind and started to drop Dennis Latz in the background. So Latz is starting to fall off. Looks like he had great one-lap pace during qualifying, but as we're in the race, he has not been able to stick with the top 3. But he's still got 4.2 seconds to Andrade. But let's look down the order right now. Let's look at Alexander Irish. Just want to scroll through the fields. This is what I was kind of trying to talk about before. We got Milicic and Irish still neck and neck. Irish not able to get around Milicic. But yes, Bauer is currently biding his time, which is very smart. He might go for a one-lap undercut or try an overcut, depending on the strategy now. But in the background of Milicic and Irish, we've got the 2 Bentleys who are on the move up into 11th and 12th still. They have definitely improved on their starting positions of, I believe, it was 14th and 16th, if memory recalls correctly. So they did benefit from the likes of some of our early pit stoppers, but Irish, picking up a little bit of dust, has now got Ramsayer in the background in the Ferrari. The Ferraris, which we've seen do a little better than the McLarens around the track today, might prove troublesome for Irish as he goes through the next few laps. With the pit window starting to open, we got some drivers in the pits right now. Not sure who they are. I do see the number 8 car, so we'll keep an eye on that. We'll go towards the front now. Can Bauer make a move into turn 1? No, he is going to be way too far behind, even out of Parabolica, to even have a chance. So at the moment, we'll keep an eye on things. Andrade is currently holding P5, 4.5 seconds behind Latz, who has just put in a very quick lap as he's closed up half a second on Simpson. So it looks like he must have heard what I was saying and gone, no, I actually have pace. But Bauer, speaking of which, who has the pace, and it's all over the gearbox right here into the braking zone. So one thing I have to account for is Andrade has got 2 lap cars battling in between him now of Sorp and Casangena. Let's take a look on that battle right now. They are going side by side right now in through turn 3. The Mercedes probably has the better straight line speed, but that Ferrari is still going to be impressive either way. They're going to go side by side into Della Rogia, who's going to be braver and brake later. They're going to stay side by side, but Sorp will have the position before the second part of the chicane, and Sorp is up to P28 now and is trying to work their way back up the field, but Andrade is now in the rearview mirror, and I'm sure wants both of these guys out of the picture so he can get a move on and try to run down Latz up ahead. But speaking up ahead, let's look through the field now. Yes, Andrade. In the background now, I'm looking Irish is nowhere to be seen. Not sure if he pitted. He's down in P21. Yes, he's in the pits now, so he's going for the undercut on Milicic. So we'll have to keep an eye on when McLaren comes out in respect to his counterpart. So Andrade right now 4.6 behind of Latz, who is now 1.2 behind Simpson. But we're going to keep an eye on the front of the field now, as Takuza is up into 9th in the Bentley. He is running down Kaziashech. Let's get a first name for that instead. Matthews. We're going to go with the Polish driver in the Ferrari, the 427 Polish driver, currently in P8. Up ahead, as Andrade is the first from our top 5 to pit, with Takuza also into the pits as well. Andrade's got a very early pit stall, so hopefully he doesn't have any damage on that car, and we'll have to keep an eye on where he comes out in retrospect to everyone else. Now here is the issue I had. I need to go back up. Let's keep an eye on our leaders now. Rayher and... Nah, that's not what we wanted. We're just going to have to scroll through the field, and I do apologize for this. Get through, Yeah, spectating is not always the best when you don't have an easy client to make it work. So Rayher is currently still holding off Bowers right behind. The two of them are slowly starting to drop Simpson in the background, with Latz kind of fluctuating in the background. Andrade's in the pits right now, who was in P5. So he's going to be the biggest threat to Latz and Simpson, because he was showing some mighty pace once he got into clean air. We got the background of... Let's see, who is that? The Porsche is Jan Klimes, the Czech driver in the background, kind of being pulled along by the likes of Simpson and Latz. So up towards the front right now. A little bit of a gap for Rayher and Bauer, with Simpson once again dropping even more. Not sure if that Lamborghini is designed for early stint or late stint, but it's looking like he's having a little bit of trouble here in his last few laps of the stint. So I assume everyone will be pitting soon. So looking through the field now. Bauer. Once again, he gets a very good run out of Parabolica. A much tighter run than what Rayher's able to do. And as a result, it looks like he gets a better run onto the front straight. But the Ferrari's just got a lot of straight line speed around here. And even though the Mercedes is looking very powerful as well, Bauer's just not able to make a move on Rayher. So they're just kind of holding a 1-2 right now into turn 1 and 2, as they are every lap, with Bauer getting on the gearbox right here, but Rayher getting a much better turn in for the chicane, and then bam, he's gone. So, but looks like Bauer's really close to Rayher now. Looks like he must have gotten better acceleration out of the chicane. So contrary to what I was just saying, Bauer all up on the back of Rayher now. Will he try to go up the inside of De La Rogia and make the move stick? No. He will sit back and wait. So thinks better of it, as he knows it is he's got 35 minutes left. And only on lap 13, or actually lap 14, excuse me. The temperature is going down a little bit on the track. It was 28 C, and now it is only 26. So keep an eye on that. But also into the pits is Dennis Latz. So we'll have to keep an eye on where Latz comes out in retrospect of Andrade. And is Andrade going to be able to make the undercut work? As Andrade is currently in Parabolica now. Latz is exiting the pits. Let's keep an eye on this battle here. We're going to go down the order. We're going to look at Andrade. He's going to come across the line now. Latz has a pretty big gap to Andrade, and will make it work just fine. But in the background, Ramsayer is going to get the undercut on Irish and Milicic. So Ramsayer and Andrade gain a lot of time, but crucially this tells us that if these drivers are able to get good outlaps, then it should work for them, as Irish is not able to get ahead of Milicic. So two McLarens battling once again, but the Ferrari was able to get around them both. So we'll have to keep an eye on that in the order as well. Going towards the front, Bauer and Rayher are still on track. Neither of them have pitted. Neither is Jack Simpson. It was 1.5 seconds behind. So we're going to keep an eye on this battle as well. But Latz, if he can get a couple nice outlaps right now, he might be able to make the undercut work, because it clearly has worked for the legs of Ramsayer. Andrade, though, has dropped 7.5 seconds behind Latz, so he must have had a shocking outlap. I'm not sure how he loses that much time to Latz, but we'll keep an eye on him as well, because it was 4.5 before the pit window, so Not sure if Andrade had any kind of damage or whatnot, but it's now 7.3. He's trying to get the McLaren to work for him. But Dennis Latz looking to make the undercut on the top 3. We're going to keep an eye on the number 5 Ferrari. As we look towards the leaders now, they're currently coming out of Lesmos 2. They got, it looks like, Shooter in the background, one of the coordinators, like I mentioned, currently in the mix of lap cars who are stuck down the order by the looks of it. So, but I'm sure they don't. Tish, will the Bentleys try to make a move, work together? Will we see any teamwork on the McLaren? Nico Ohl is just very close to Milicic, the drift king of Ohl, all over the back of the McLaren, but he does not make the move work up towards the front now. Is anyone going to the pits? Right here's into the pits. Our race leader and our 3rd position runner of Jack Simpson, both into the pits now, so all eyes will be on Florian Bauer. Will he be able to overcut Reher, or will he get undercut? We'll have to wait and see what happens. But crucially, where is Dennis Latz on track? Latz currently coming into Lesmos 2 now. It's going to be 30 seconds for these guys in the pits to have to stay stationary, so we'll keep an eye on where he comes out. I'm going to be right back for 30 seconds, and we'll keep an eye on Latz now. Or Bauer in this case, so I do apologize, but we'll be right back. Alright, we are back. Sorry for the little delay there, but let's keep an eye because Dennis Latz is currently behind Reher, but Reher has been undercut by Jack Simpson, so Reher must have had some kind of damage or something because I don't see how Simpson gets ahead of Reher if the two of them are going to be in the pits, and I don't think any of them did anything special, but Latz is all over the gearbox now of Reher. Our pole sitter might drop down to provisional 4th position. No, he will not. Latz will think better of it. But now our current race leader, Bauer, is into the pits. So we'll have to see if these guys will all undercut Bauer and if Simpson will take the lead, or will we see Bauer retain the lead? Well, that'll be the question that will be answered shortly. As Dubail gets a drive-through for what must certainly be speeding in the pit lane. That is not what you want to see right now at this point in the race. He's currently running 19th, getting some nice points right now, but now it's going to drop a lot farther down the order than 19th. By the looks as the Delta's coming, I believe he'll be 23rd, maybe even farther back. We'll have to keep an eye on him, but he's got a drive-through, and his day's gone from bad to worse. But either way, let's keep an eye on the leaders now. Jack Simpson, who has made the undercut work like crazy. Will he be able to retain the lead as Bauer is currently moving in his pit stall now? But we can look back down the order. Simpson's currently into Parabolica now. Bauer's moving in the pit lane right now. But is he going to be able to accelerate enough and hold onto the lead? Simpson down the front straight. He's got Reher all over his rear end. You can see on the mini-map, Bauer is leaving the pits now. Will Bauer be able to get up to speed in time? He's got Simpson coming up in his rearview mirror. Bauer will retain the lead right here, all over the back of Simpson now. Will the Ferrari try to break later? No. Simpson currently slots into provisional 2nd place, but Bauer crucially is able to make the overcut work, and he is in clean air. It is his race to lose, as the only 2 drivers ahead of him are Gebhard and Rake. Alexander Rake, who has, Alan Rake, sorry, in Algeria. The Algerian driver currently in P1 with Gebhardt in P2. The 2 drivers have not pitted just yet, but let's keep an eye right now on Reher. Reher is going to go side by side with Dennis Latz into Lesmos 1, but Latz thinks better of it as all 4 drivers go pretty wide on exit, with the widest being Bauer, who kind of took a very unorthodox line through the corner. So We got a four-way battle for the race win. It is not over, folks. You got Andrade in the background as well, who's now 6.7 behind Lat. So these guys start battling. Don't count him out just yet, with Ramshair 1.2 behind him. We got ourselves a lot of action on track right now, folks. And it is going to be heating up even more as we've got 28.5 minutes to go. This race has felt like it's been going on for a while, but we got a lot more racing to go. And so I'll have to wait and see what happens going forward. But crucially, right here, right now, 4/10 behind Simpson. He's even closer into the braking zone. He might try to make a move into turn one. Question is, what kind of downforce is Simpson running, and will he have too much drag? Down the front straight we go. Right here, gaining on Simpson. Will he try to make the move stick into turn one? He's not really getting enough. He peeks to the right-hand side of the track, tries to throw the dummy, but he's going to sit back behind Simpson. He's just not getting enough overspeed, as the Lamborghini is proving to be fast enough for the Ferrari, causing the Ferrari to slow down a little bit through the first chicane. Looks like the Ferrari's got some very nice cornering, like I said before. It's probably the better cornering on track right now, but the Lambo just got great acceleration out of the corner, and he's got enough top speed to make it work. So, but Bauer is currently 1 second ahead of the two of them. That's now up to P2 as one of the top two guys pits right now. Looking down the order, everyone else is kind of taking position, with one of our bigger drivers down in, well, one of our big gainers in the order right now. In P20 is Stuart McLeod in the Honda, up into 20th right now. He's having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and see if we can take a look at his Honda. The Honda currently right now, he's got a McLaren of Mario Marin. I believe Marin has dropped down the order. Yes, McLeod is up into 18th. Marin's down to 19th. The Honda is once again on the move. And he's making that number 69 car work perfectly. But in the background, Blake Moore makes a move on Marin as well, who is just struggling like crazy. Not sure if they took an early pit stop or not. But that McLaren is falling down the order. So either way, let's look towards the front of the field. Bauer only has 8/10, but Simpson is side by side with Ray here. We missed some of the action. Ray here's going to go way too wide into Parabolica. He must have gotten a great run out of Ascari because he had the run on the Lambo. He's flashing the Lambo, so he must have thought that that was a little dirty, but it doesn't matter because Latz is now over the rear end of Ray, and I'm sure Latz does not care to keep Ray here ahead. Latz going to go to the left-hand side of the track. Will he go for the move around the outside into turn one? Will he brake later? The two of them braking very late. The Ferraris side by side, leaving just enough space for each other. Some slight contact with Latz and Ray here. Ray here does a half spin, and he will hold on to the position for now. He's got the inside line for turn three, but can Latz get enough speed around the outside to make it work? The two of them side by side. Let's even get a helicopter shot going into Della Rogia. Latz is going to think better of it and slip behind Ray here. He knows that there was a little bit of contact there, and it was all his fault. So I think he thought better of it. And now Rayer's got 1.8 seconds to make up on Simpson, our Pulsator, who's dropped down the order currently, as turns out it was on right here. The camera likes to sit on Latz right now. We have some very close and fantastic racing indeed. As Andrade is into the pits, I'm not sure if he got any damage. Let's take a look at him as he's dropping way down the order. He must have had some kind of damage because this is his second pit stop, as the Brazilian, who was having an absolutely wonderful race, was up in P5. His day is basically ruined as he's in the pits now. Very heartbreaking to see for a fan favorite, and hopefully we'll see him come back even stronger next week. So back up towards front. Let's get our P1 driver currently, the Algerian of Alan Rake. I hope he knows he has to pit at some point because he's currently 19 laps in and has no pit stop yet. He's got a gap over Bauer, but we'll have to keep an eye on that right now when he decides to come into the pits and where he feeds out. So now it looks like it's a 4-horse race with laps. Ray here, Simpson, and Bauer making up our top 4. We've got ourselves some very feisty driving, to say the least, as Ray here, Simpson, and Latz were all fighting it out between the three of them, with it allowing Bauer to get 1.4 ahead of Simpson. And Simpson is able to benefit off the fact that Rayer ran wide at Parabolica and it left the door open for Latz to come through. Rayer, who certainly is not happy in the cockpit right now, is going to have to get a move on if he wants to test for the win, which it looked like it was going to be his at the start of the race. But these drivers all in the fastest cars around the circuit right now, with all three of these cars fastest for Monza for sure. The 488 Evo being a pretty fast car all around. And I mean, the Mercedes and Lambos are definitely no slouches, but from what I've heard, the Ferrari just has a little bit of an edge on the other two. So we'll keep an eye on these guys throughout the season if they can keep this kind of pace and this battling up. But this is some fantastic racing right now. So we go down the order a little bit more. Let's take a look at the rest of the field. Who's going on? We've got Ramsayer in 6th. He will take over 5th once Rake pits. He has been on the move as well. Simon Ramsayer from Ireland. So the Irish driver having a wonderful day. He's got a little bit of paint scuff on the front of his car. Not sure how he got it on the Ferrari, but he has moved up the order and has had a pretty great race, as our race leader of Alan Rake has come into the pits, and now Florian Bauer will rightfully take the lead. As we can see now, we'll look down in provisional 6th place will be Pasquale De Lucia in the Ferrari. He's had a pretty solid race. Alexander Irish was finally able to get around Milicic, not sure how, but Irish is up into P8 and will be P7 come end of Sector 1 officially. Nico Ull in one of 2 Bentleys is in the top 10, and so is Dacusa as well. So the Bentleys are having a pretty fantastic drive right now. It's not earth-shattering, but it is still shattering nonetheless. Dacusa, who is in 9th, running a little slow in that last lap compared to his teammate and his best, but still got a 2.4 second gap to the Ferrari behind. So yeah, it's looking like we got some pretty good action. Let's look down the order. Jay Fang, the rookie, all over the back of Vandervelde. Will he try to make a move into Della Rogia? Not sure. Let's keep an eye as Fang all up on the rear end of his McLaren compatriot. He's got to swing to the right-hand side. Will he try to brake later? He brakes really late for Della Rogia. Is he going to make it stick around the outside? No. There is just not enough room there to make it work. He broke too late, and as a result, Vandervelde got just a good enough run through the chicane. But Fang is back down into 4th. So let's scroll through back up towards the order. Let's go back up towards our top 4 right now. Vlad, almost a second behind Ray, who's just over a second behind Simpson, who's just a second behind this man. Okay, we're just not going to shift for me. Florian Bauer, current race leader, and the number 22 Mercedes. He's had a pretty nice day so far. So it is definitely nice to see him perform well, as he's got a 1.4 second gap. Simpson, who must have had a shocking lap, because now he's got Raher all up on his gearbox once again. Raher, who certainly wants to get a move on and get up towards the front, or battle for the lead. Sorry, he's in the front, but he's not in the lead, and that's what he wants. He's flashing Simpson because of what happened before when Simpson kind of shoved him off the track. We'll be curious to see if Simpson gives up the position now that Raher's behind him. And Latz has fallen off a little bit behind him, but it doesn't look like Simpson's going to yield. So looks like we'll just have ourselves a big battle for second place, because I'm sure Raher wants to clear Simpson, and he's definitely frustrated with him, considering he is flashing him. So we'll keep an eye on it. The Bentley appears to be pretty good around here. It was not good in quali, but in the race, Ull and Dacusa are currently in 8th and 9th. I mean, definitely benefiting from the likes of Sorp dropping down to 20th after starting P5. So we'll have to keep an eye on how the rest of the race unfolds. But we got ourselves a pretty jam-packed race right now. I guess the question now remains, who is currently our highest placed rookie? So let me take up my sheet. In P8, we have Nico Ull. He is not a rookie. Dacusa is not a rookie. In P10, it's P10. It is Mateusz Kaziaszczyk. Once again, apologize for slaughtering the name. He's currently our highest placed rookie in 10th position. So even though we had the likes of Sorp starting P5 as a rookie, they dropped down the order, and now we have a Ferrari in P10 who's doing the best. But speaking of Ferrari, right here is going to stick to the right-hand side of the track. Will he brake later? Yes, he's braking very late, and he has the position into turn 1, but Simpson's trying to make the switchback work. Can't make it work through 1 and 2, but on the exit now, he's all over the rear end of the Ferrari. Is he going to get a better run through turn 3 and into Della Roggia? He's going to the left-hand side of the track. Let's go on board with him now. He is side by side with the Ferrari. Rayer's not giving him that much room. They're going to go side by side into the braking zone. Simpson backs out of it at the last second, and now Rayer up into second. But their battling has made it 2.2 seconds for Bauer in front. Bauer pulling away at the moment. Not sure why the camera is doing the same stuff for the Simpson and Rayer. But either way, Bauer 2.2 seconds ahead. His Mercedes is working wonders for him today with 18 minutes on the dot left to go. And Bauer, Florian Bauer, in complete control of this race as we speak. But Tom Rayer would love, I'm sure he would love to catch back up to the Mercedes, but it's now 2.5. Because the battling for Rayer and Simpson has almost all but guaranteed Florian Bauer's victory unless he makes a mistake. Which, of course, knocking on wood right now. I don't know if you can hear it, but I knocked on wood. Hopefully nothing happens to Florian Bauer and he's able to win this race. So, he's got 17 minutes left, which, if my math serves me correctly, should be 9, maybe 10 laps left. You have to do it about 150. Should be, I'd say, about 10 laps. We got 10 laps left in this race. So, still plenty of action left as we've only done 23 laps now. But there's some lap traffic coming up ahead. So, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. So, yes, I do really know how to keep talking, Rich. You're absolutely right. Might not always be the best things, but hey, keep an eye on it. Yes, Nico Ohl is closing in big time. This is why I would like to have that off-screen broadcasting work. He's now on the rear end of Alexander Irish. So let's keep an eye on that battle because Simpson and Rayer seem to have sorted things out, but Rayer's got half a second through the first sector on Bauer. So it looks like a commentator cursed him a little bit. So, but let's keep an eye on Nico Ohl first, who is a half second behind Irish, but it's certainly going to be a lot closer. It's going to be 4/10 now, but into the braking zone, the Drift King all over the rear end of the McLaren, but I think he broke a little too late there, and that's going to compromise him going into Lesmos 1 now. So Nico Ohl, we're going to keep an eye on him as well. Going through the order, do we have any other close battles? We've got Sir Williams, who is all over the gearbox of Shooter. Shooter 80 currently right now having to fend back the McLaren, the American driver, who hopefully is not talking as much as me in the cockpit right now, because that would probably be very distracting. But Sir Williams all over the gearbox of Shooter 80. Shooter 80 in the lone BMW on the field is going to take a defensive line into Della Roggia, but he will hold on to the position because I don't think Sir Williams is close enough. But the two of them are going to bang car parts a little bit, but Sir Williams will not be able to make the move stick on Shooter for now. Up towards the front, right here is 2.1 across the line behind Florian Bauer. So he gained 4/10 on the lap, but he lost a 10th after sector 1. So we'll have to keep an eye on how that Ferrari handles in clean air, because Florian Bauer is looking very fast in the first stint, but as the cars get lighter, the Ferrari's looking pretty quick in clean air. So we'll have to keep an eye once again as Dennis Latz is all but falling off, 1.8 seconds behind Simpson. So that's very unfortunate to see the Ferrari driver drop back as much as he did, but it makes it more of a 3-horse race for the lead as right here, once again, gains time in the first sector. Him and Simpson are both gaining on Bauer right now. But going down the order, let's see if Nico Ohl can make a move on Irish now. They're about holding position between the two of them. As we go down through the grid even more, Sir Williams is still on the rear end of Shooter. Shooter only holding 2/10 to Sir Williams now. Will Sir Williams try to make a move into turn 1? These guys are currently neck and neck, but not close enough to make a move. Yes, towards the front of the field now. There are lap cars in front of our race leader, Florian Bauer. We've got the number 13 car of Gillian Hardenberg. We have a where's Marlon Andrade? I don't think he's in the cluster. He is in the cluster right in front of him. So we got a set of couple cars all battling for position in front of our race leaders, about 8 seconds ahead. We know Andrade is very quick, but we do have to keep an eye on this battling as well, because this battling could change the race result if Bauer is able to close up enough. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. Yeah, Scooter is definitely going warp speed, but Sir Williams all up on the gearbox. Sir Williams actually made the move on Scooter. Must have done it in Della Rogia because there was only a 10th gap between the two of them, but if Sir Williams is going to run wide like that, Shooter should be able to run him down, but apparently Shooter made a mistake as well. But in the background, we got Gebhardt, who was in second place for some time before the pit went, well, not for some time, after our race leader's pit. Apparently, he is going to make the move on Castaneda through the middle sector. So he is up into P24 now. Towards the front, let's keep an eye on Ray here, who's now 1.7 behind our leader, Florian Bauer. So we're going to keep an eye on this race lead once again. There's some great racing down the order, but crucially, Ray has knocked off 8/10 in the last 6 minutes. The rate he's going, he should be able to put Bauer under pressure in the closing minutes of the race. So we'll keep an eye on this. But for now, we're going to watch as Ray here starts to pull away from Jack Simpson, and Florian Bauer is going to have to hold on for dear life. 12.5 minutes to go from a charging Tom Ray here is now 1.5 behind. That's another 2/10 gaining on Bauer. So he is flying right now. The Ferrari of Tom Rayer. Not sure, though, if it's all him who's doing the work, because Bauer is also losing time to Simpson as well. So it looks like Bauer's Mercedes is not handling as well under these low fuel conditions. So I do know, from what I've heard, is that some of the Ferraris on a full tank do struggle to, at least in the higher engine modes, they struggle to save fuel. So the question now remains, has he saved enough fuel, and will he be able to put it in like a quality mix towards the end of the race? Because if he does, we'll have to see. The comms team calling him Scooter. Scooter, Shooter. You know, Scooter sounds pretty good. You know, Shooter's pretty nice, but Scooter also sounds pretty good as well. I think he should consider it. I'll throw some comments to him after the race. We'll see if we can pick his brain on what he thinks. But yeah, Shooter down the order in P23, but also in the order as well, the other coordinator, Takuza, in P9. So the coordinator's having a little bit of varying luck today. Personally, I've never driven the BMW, excuse me. Never driven the Bentley either. But I've never driven the BMW just because I thought it looked a little ugly for my taste. So I'm not sure on what tracks it does well with. Apparently around here it's not the best by the looks of the race results. But either way, Ray here is now 1.3 behind Bauer. It doesn't look that close considering the gap from the camera doesn't look as close, but he is closing like crazy on Bauer. I think we're going to have a three-way battle for the lead. Bauer is just, his pace is just gone. Not sure if he's fuel saving or what, but he's only 1.3 ahead. His gap, the gap that he had after Ray and Simpson battled and swapped positions, has been cut in half. And it's been done in about 8 minutes time. And now that Ray is starting to close in, he surely will be getting some slipstream very soon. And as a result, Bauer's going to be under pressure. But look ahead of Bauer right now. Ahead of Bauer, oh, we're going the wrong way. That sucks. Ahead of Bauer is P34 in the Ferrari. He's only got 2 seconds between them, and there's 4 cars of lap traffic. So this race is about to get a lot spicier. And yeah, Scooter is definitely a pretty good racing name, that is for sure. But yeah, up towards the front now, we've got Marlon Andrade, who we know is quick, is kind of stuck behind a Lambo and a Lexus. It looks like that Lexus is kind of making a train, and that train seems to be impassable. And now we got our top 3 gaining in. So, you know, I wouldn't even count out Dennis Latz just yet. He's 2.1 behind, but if this train holds up the leaders, you never know. So we're going to have to see what happens. Looking down the order, though, we got a big battle for P5. De Lucia is currently up to P5. Not sure if Ramsayer made a mistake or not, but the Ferrari drivers have swapped positions. Let's check the gap on De Lucia. Yes, Ramsayer, I believe, made a mistake because he was only 8 or 9 seconds behind Latz, and now he's 12. So Big battle there. Nico Ohl has made his way around Alexander Irish as well. So down the order, we are seeing some position changes, which is going to definitely give some of these guys a lot more points, as Nico Ohl has currently gained, I think, about 7 or 8 positions since qualifying. So he's definitely been on the charge through the grid as well. But so is De Lucia, who's up to P5 now. So there is definitely a lot of battling, but Ramsayer currently on the rear end of De Lucia, and it's definitely going to put him under pressure. So we'll have to see if this battling will allow Ohl to gain even more positions going forward. But looking towards the front now, has Bauer caught up to the lap cars? Yes, he has. The Lexus, not sure what happened there, but the Lexus has dropped towards the back. It looks like Andrade has yielded, and the Lamborghini got around the Lexus. So Andrade has yielded. He knows better than to hold up second place Tom right here. But it's not it looks like he's going to give up the position as well to Simpson. But Bauer is now stuck behind the Lexus of lap traffic, and now the Lexus is going to yield. Question is, will he yield for Reher and Simpson as well? Bauer losing time left and right to the cars behind, but I'm not sure if Reher is going to be able to get around the Lexus at this point in time. He's not close enough. And as a result, yes, the Ferrari is going to be stuck behind the Lexus. He's 1.1 seconds behind. If the Lexus does not move out of the way now, he does. But that allows Simpson to gain up on the back, as there is now a Lamborghini parking on the apex in Lesmos 1. He's going to have to move out of the way. He's getting blue flagged left and right, as now Reher is now in dirty air. He's going to get a nice little tow out of Lesmos 2 as the Lambro moves out of the way, and all of a sudden Reher is under a second behind Bauer. As a result, it is a three-way battle for the lead, and they are all within slipstream of each other. The Lamborghini making it a little dangerous in the background there, but he's going to yield to Simpson and Reher, as we have a 1 second gap between the top three now. This is absolutely crazy. We only have 7 minutes left in the race as we speak. So 1 second between the top three. Reher certainly has slipstream behind Bauer now. So I'm curious to see if he's going to think better of it, or if he's going to make a move, as Bauer is looking mighty slow through sector 3, and Reher is now over the back of Bauer. He must have gotten a fantastic run out of Ascari, because now Reher is under 4/10 behind. He is under 4/10 behind Bauer as they cross the line, and he is most certainly going to be gaining into the braking zone now. Will he make a move into turn 1? No. He knows that Mercedes can brake very late, but it looks like Reher put the engine up to engine mode 1, or maybe even 2, depending, and he is fighting for the win now. He knows that he has the pace to win this race, and he knows Bauer is very quick. So the question is, will he pick and choose his spot to overtake, or will he just kind of sit in and wait? We'll have to wait and see, as Della Roggia is going to Della Roggia. Reher 2/10 behind, but he's on the gearbox. So Jack Simpson right there in P3, also in the fight as well. Dennis Latz in the background, 3 seconds behind. It looks like traffic has not helped him out at all. But yes, we have a three-way battle for the race lead, so it looks like we're going to hold on, or going to hang on to these guys as well, because with 1 second between the top three, we are most certainly going to see some fantastic moves made in these last few laps. Let's see if we can get a little better of a camera shot. Let's maybe do a helicam. Yeah, let's do a helicam right now from P2. It's going to allow us to see the top three from a nice aerial view, as Bauer gets a kind of poor run through Ascari. Reher gets his usual really good run, but I'm not sure if he had a lift or not, as much as he had in the previous laps because of the dirty air. But, excuse me, the helicam showing us just how far apart these cars are. There's now 1 car length between the two of them, not even, as Bauer's pretty slow at the apex of Parabolica, but there's only a car length between the two of them. Will Reher go to make the move into turn 1? He is under 3/10, maybe under 2/10 as they cross the line. He's 2/10 on the dot. He's gaining on the Mercedes now. That Mercedes has got a lot of straight line speed, but the Ferrari has even more. He's on the gearbox of the Mercedes, but he backs out of it at the last second. He thinks better of it, but Jack Simpson comes storming into the corner, and there is contact. He is into the rear end of Reher, and he's off the track into the runoff. That most certainly has given both cars damage, and Reher, who was right on the gears of Bauer, has been taken out by Simpson, but not taken out enough, so that they are not able to stop driving, but Simpson completely hopped the sausage curb into turn 1, and now right here is 1.5 behind, and Bauer has been gifted a miracle as he is now 1.5 seconds ahead and is most certainly going to win this race. But right here must be fuming under the cockpit because first he had an incident with Simpson earlier on, and now Simpson braking way too late into turn 1 and pushing both of them off the track and right here into a half spin has caused all sorts of chaos. As for what was a three-way battle for the win has certainly gifted Florian the Bauer the win today. With 3.5 minutes left, it's all but over. That is so unfortunate. See the veteran driver of Jack Simpson making the mistake into turn 1, unbraking just too late, and he tried to get out of it, but rather than steaming into the back of him, he decided to hop the curb and hope for the best. But in the end, the Lamborghini of Jack Simpson, we will most certainly be seeing him in the stewards room because that just ruined Tom Rahier's chance of winning the race. He gets so much pace right there. But yes, it is very unfortunate to see right there. As now Rahier is 1.5 across the line, probably at a similar gap. We've got 2 laps to, maybe, no, 3 laps to go. No, it should be 2 laps now at this point. Yeah, 2 laps to go, folks. He's across the line with 2:50 left in the race. They'll be able to come across the line once again with about a minute left. So Rahier is now 1.2. He's still gaining on Bauer very impressively, but I don't think he'll be able to run down our race leader, Florian Bauer, now because of the contact, and especially if he has any residual damage. So give me 1 sec. Back at a make a quick text. But right here is, yes, he must be on some kind of adrenaline push right now, but he's also probably pretty annoyed in that cockpit. I mean, I'm sure everyone would be if that happened to him, as he was looking to take the lead from Florian Bauer. He's been looking a little sluggish these last 10 minutes, and it's the traffic certainly didn't help. But now Bauer's got that 1.3, probably 1.3 still as we end the sector, 1.4 actually, between the two of them. And Bauer is looking to inherit the first race of the season as he will score maximum points. Oh, Tom Rahier is off the track in Ascari and he's into the wall. So it looks like he will not get a podium at all today. Completely missed that. Saw that going to happen in the background, but that is just tears for Rahier. I don't think he got any suspension damage from his contact in turn 1. That looked like he was just trying to push it too hard, and bam, he is off the track as Alexander Irish gets a drive-through in P8. So all of a sudden, the McLaren driver is going to get hit with a huge time penalty, come to end of the race. And now D'Acusa will be gifted P8, but Tom Rahier is going to come across the line. He's going pretty slowly. I'm not sure how much damage he took from that collision. Didn't look like he hit the wall that hard, but his car is definitely slowing up. As now De Lucia is gaining on him as well. But Rahier, his race went from bad to worse. It is just tears for the Ferrari driver as we are on the last lap of the race now. But let's go up towards the front. We got a battle for P2, ladies and gentlemen. Dennis Latz all of a sudden has caught up to Jack Simpson. Not sure if Simpson had to yield a lot because of the spinning Ferrari, but now he's got another Ferrari up his inside of Della Rogia. He has another Ferrari ahead of him now. Simpson down to P3. It looks like he's got a little bit of damage to that car from his contact. And now Latz is up into P2. I said before, do not count him out. And now Latz is going to take second place, barring any mistakes he makes. Hopefully he does not make a mistake like we saw happen to Rahier down in P4. But yes, Latz is up to P2 where he started. He was gifted a little bit of luck there as he was falling off the back end of the grid. But in the background, we got Simpson behind Latz and Andrade, who could have been in this position if he didn't have that issue during his second stint, which prompted him to pit and take a third. So unfortunate to see, as he's clearly got the pace to stick with the leaders. But speaking of the leaders now, let's go towards the front of the field now. Florian Bauer. He has led this race since the pit window. He took it over during it, and Florian Bauer in his Mercedes AMG GT3 car will win the first race for Tier 2 at Monza here today. Florian Bauer with an absolutely brilliant drive. He struggled in the second stint a little bit, but he will take home the race win with Dennis Latz coming in second and Jack Simpson in third. Tom Ray here, who is down in fourth position after his spin, will finish P4. Di Lucia, who had a great drive, will finish P5. Ram Zayer will finish P6. Nico Olf, 7th. Dakuza, 8th. Kaziacek, who started his first ever race for AOR, is up into 9th position now. Vandervelde in P10. Fang in P11, another rookie driver. Milchek down into P12. We saw him battling a lot today. Torregrossa in P13. Stuart McLeod in the Honda. Hats off to him in a car that is definitely not as fast as some of these other ones. Will finish P14. Pit Shitch, we didn't speak about him much today, in the Aston Martin in P15. Wright in P16. Mario Marin, P17. We saw him a little bit. Alexander Irish, we saw a lot today as well after his drive-through penalty. Will finish P18. Blake Moore, P19. July Sorp, who started P5, dropped down to P20. And that will round up our top 20 today. Some great driving all around. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. It has been a wonderful race. Yes, Split 1 is on Mondays. This is Split 2 racing for Apex Online Racing. As let's go ahead and look at Florian Bauer, who's currently driving alongside Dennis Latz on the track right now. Both of the drivers had a fantastic race today, and it was just absolutely insane. Unfortunate to see Ray here drop down the order, but there's not a whole lot we can do about that looking back. I'm sure we'll see him and Simpson in the stewards panel. Just unfortunate to see a race get decided by that, but either way, hats off to Florian Bauer today. This is Fizzymon having to sign off a little earlier than I'd like. I'll try to get some driver interviews post-race going forward, but I do have to go to my actual job right now, running a little late to that. That's okay. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. I hope to see more of you and see some of you guys back going forward. We got 64 concurrent viewers with a max of 79. That is absolutely outstanding for some Tier 2 action. Thank you everyone for watching today, and I hope to see you all on Monday first for Tier 1 action with Assetto Corsa Competizione, Apex Online Racing, and yes, I will take a sip of water.